Tout Baba avec Burna Boys. Burna Boy qui était l'année dernière à cette période au Cameroun. Il avait un concert le 22 et le 23 au Cameroun. Donc il était venu faire quelque chose de magique. Je suis fan de ce mec. Hein.
De qui, de Burna Boy?
Oui, c'est un homme avec grand H.
Il a la voix.
Il sent l'homme.
Il sent l'homme.
Ouais.
Il est imposant. Ouais.
Il a la carrure.
La carrure.
Le mec, il n'est pas dans vos nyanga, dans vos choses là comme ça là. C'est pas le gars lisse qui va te porter, même quand il porte la marque, ce n'est. Bref, en fait, c'est pas ça que lui vend. Il vend. Hein? Il vend l'homme.
Aïe, Solange. Regarde comment il vend Babo te regarde.
Le goût de ça en direct. Voilà.
Il vend Babo. Le regard de ça. Laissez ma Solange s'exprimer. Moi, je l'aime comme ça.
C'est ça qui va nous tuer dans notre pays ici.
Il y a qualité et qualité. Chacun ce qu'il est. Qu'on laisse comme ça. So est ce qu'elle est. Nous, on l'aime comme ça. Alors, Solange, c'est vrai que, je ne sais pas, Xavier, MTN, ils seront là. Ils sont là. Ils ne viennent pas. Ben, ils peuvent venir, non? Voilà. Vous savez, c'est le direct. Hein. On vous fait vivre un peu comme si vous étiez là, vous étiez avec nous. Donc, on va recevoir MTN tout à l'heure, avant d'aller à l'école. Parce que...
Il est là avec nous,
oui, Godlove Njisong. Voilà. Godlove Njisong.
Oui, j'ai cru que c'était Godlove.
Donc, il n'était pas là la semaine dernière parce qu'il était à un séminaire à Yaoundé. Et je crois qu'il vient terminer, il fait sa dernière avec nous aujourd'hui. Et puis, je crois que par la grâce de Dieu, on va aller avec madame...
Il va nous apprendre comment gagner de l'argent.
Comment gagner de l'argent, se faire de l'argent.
Comment devenir... riche, nous-mêmes.
Pour se faire de l'argent.
Oui, se faire de l'argent.
Les moyens pour se faire de l'argent, parce qu'il y a beaucoup qui ne savent même pas comment.
Il faut mettre les moyens du Moyen Âge.
Absolument, absolument, absolument. Et puis, si on ne peut pas se faire de l'argent en étant travailleur, simplement. Je veux dire, en travaillant dans une entreprise, on ne peut pas se faire de l'argent. Ça, c'est sûr et certain. Le travail que nous faisons, c'est un travail. Travaillant dans une entreprise, ça nous permet d'avoir un truc fixe pour pouvoir gérer le quotidien. Bon, maintenant, si on veut avoir plus, c'est là où ça va un peu être compliqué. Il va falloir travailler ses ménages pour pouvoir faire les choses comme il faut.
Je pense qu'on va commencer avec lui parce qu'aujourd'hui,
on va parler Good Morning quand même.
Oui. On va parler de financial freedom, donc la liberté financière que toute femme voudrait avoir.
Moi, je n'aimerais plus la femme. Moi, en tant que femme, moi, je n'aimerais plus dépendre de l'homme. D'un homme. Je veux être totalement free. Ceci ne veut pas dire que je vais manquer du respect à mon homme, mais je ne veux plus être... je n'ai plus envie de demander certaines choses, certaines sommes d'argent.
Il y en a qui vont jusqu'à demander même l'argent des serviettes hygiéniques aux hommes.
Ah non, non, mais si on arrive, non, Solange, attendons, ne descendons pas un peu. Il n'y a pas seulement que l'argent des serviettes. Bon, il y a aussi autre chose. Il y a des choses qu'on ne voudrait plus demander à l'homme. S'il faut que je demande quelque chose à un homme, il faudrait que cet homme-là me donne quelque chose qui pourra me permettre de pouvoir être libre financièrement demain. Moi, c'est ce que j'attends de l'homme qui, voilà, mais que tout le temps, je peux être coincé, oui, oui, il faut donner pour cela. Et d'où même, j'ai eu un débat avec un ami sur la question. Bref, liberté financière, pour nous les femmes d'abord, et puis bon, tout le monde est concerné, mais je préfère, comme Solange dit, on privilégie d'abord les femmes. Moni Godlove Njisong. Bonjour.
Good morning, Solange.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure being with you again here today after I was not able to be here last week because I was in Yaoundé for another program. And It's always a pleasure to talk about financial freedom because I understand that that's a place everybody wants to be. And today, I said I was going to talk about the differences between the poor and the wealthy. But before going into that, let me just...
difference between?
The poor and the wealthy. The poor and the rich.
La différence entre le pauvre et le riche.
Yes, that's what we are going to look at. And I will give some tips concerning budgeting, and we'll end there for now because financial freedom is so big a topic that you need to be able to consecrate your whole life to be able to understand it fully because it's a continuous learning process. And a few things I just want to say, I already said them, and I said the most important ingredient for wealth is the type of mindset that you have. Let me just quickly say this. I'm not advocating for everybody to go and start a company. That is not the right solution because not everyone can run a company. Not everyone can become an entrepreneur. But what we need to understand is that when you have the financial intelligence that you need, that permits you to be able to take daily decisions concerning your finances, whether you are a salary owner or you are running your own company, that is what is going to permit you to go into this road of financial freedom and finally get to your destination to be able to live a financial free or financially stress-free life. And so if you are a worker and you understand this and you decide to continue to be a salary worker, it's up to you. And if you are an entrepreneur and you decide to take this seriously, you will still get to that destination that all of us desire. I would like to start today with a story. It is a story I learned some time ago. It's a story between story of Pablo and Bruno. So Pablo and Bruno were very good friends. They grew up together and almost everything they did together. They were very ambitious, they were hardworking, but now they were looking for an opportunity that would enable them to become rich in their village. So one day the opportunity presented itself to them, and the opportunity was that they were called up by the villagers to be the ones to carry water and provide water for the village, while the villagers concentrate on other things. So they were expected to walk a couple of kilometers where they will fetch water and then bring this water to the village. And they saw it as a very good opportunity. And in our context, let me just say each bucket of water they were able to carry was 100 francs. So from morning till evening, they will be going to the stream, which was far off, to carry the water and bring it into the village. And they started making a lot of money carrying water every day. And as time went on, they were able to have more strength to carry more buckets. They had devices. They decided to look for containers that were bigger so that they could carry more water at once. And of course, after working for some years, Pablo started asking Bruno, is this how we are going to work till when we are old? I believe there should be another way. I believe maybe there's something else that we can do, because I believe that by the time we are old, we'll be so tired to be able to continue this work. It is becoming monotonous. And Bruno told him, look, we have always wanted to have something that can give us money, something that can give us the means to earn a living. And this is it. I don't know why you're complaining. I'm enjoying it. With the money I'm making from here, I can eventually build a house, I can get married, I can buy a donkey for myself that will be moving from one place to the other. So I have nothing to worry about. But Pablo, in his mind, was troubled that there should be a better way. And after thinking for a very long time, he came up with this idea that if he could just get bamboos, you know, bamboos, they have the stalk, they have holes within, they are just like pipes. And I connect them from the river to the village, I should be able to transport that water to the village with no problem. And when he shared this idea with Bruno, Bruno laughed at him that who gave you that type of stupid idea? It cannot work. But Pablo did not give up on his idea. So he was continually thinking of how he could implement it. And one day he decided to take action. So what he did is he started digging a trench from the water to the village where he's going to put down the pipes in. And the work took him 2 years to be able to dig the trench and put the pipes. And during the period that he was doing this, it means that he did not have enough time to carry water. So while his friend Bruno will be carrying water, he will devote half of the time to work on his pipeline and devote half of his time to carry water. And during this time, if you are following me, you will discover that it means Bruno was making more money than him, because Bruno was consecrating most of his time to carry water while he was consecrating part of his time to be able to dig this pipeline. And of course, at the end of the 2 years, he had completely finished his work. And when he finished his work and he opened the first ancient tap, let me say it, a tap in the village, and water started gushing out, people came to celebrating him. The same people were mocking at him when he was, digging this trench and walking there, and they did not understand what he was doing, because his friends started making a mockery to him. Each time he'll be drinking and he sees Pablo passing, he will be like, hey, see that dreamer. They consider him a dreamer because they could not see what he was doing. But when it became a reality and water started gushing out, and he was able to reduce the cost of water, and everybody was coming to get water from him, and Bruno could no longer carry water, he was feeling bad. And everyone started celebrating him and calling him a miracle worker. And deep inside, he knew that he had not done any miracle. He just did something that any person who was determined enough could do it. And he called his friend Bruno and he told him, look, see, it took me 2 years to be able to do this because I was doing a lot of trials and error. But given the opportunity all over to do it, it's going to take me about 1 year or 1 year, 6 months. But if we should team up to do it together, I can assure you we can do it within a year. And Bruno was first of all skeptical. He felt that Pablo was just coming to make a mockery at him. And finally, he decided to join his friend Pablo so that they could do it in other villages. So what they do is they move from one village to the other, and then they dig the pipeline, they open up a tap, and it's flowing. They employ somebody to be working at the tap, and they are just collecting their money. And when they are moving from one village to the other, they also see young people like them who are trying to carry water. He will be telling them, look, there's a way, there's a method that we can teach you for you to be able to carry this water in a less strenuous way, and they will refuse. And so this may just be a story, but when you look into it, you see that most of us, that's what we are doing. The only difference is that we no longer carry buckets. What we carry is we carry our paperwork, we carry our laptops every morning to our job sites, and we come back. And the question is, when we are old, when we go on retirement, we will still have the same income that is coming in. If something happens on the way, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's say your buckets, it gets burst, it gets stolen. What are you going to do? So every serious-minded person should be thinking about laying a pipeline for himself, a side hustle, an investment plan. Because one of the things that happen with the wealthy people is that they always look out for multiple sources of income, as we saw with the tables the other time. Now, when you only have one source of income, no matter how stable it is or how stable you think it is a very big problem. And as a matter of fact, you are actually wicked with yourself. So when you look at this story, I want us to note a few things. And the first thing is that both Pablo and Bruno were ambitious. They were ambitious dreamers. Now, when you are ambitious and you are working hard, what is going to happen is that opportunities are going to present themselves to you. But when opportunities present themselves to you, not every person usually sees opportunities. When you don't seize opportunities, you remain poor. That is why I like the acronym that somebody has given to poor. It says poor, which is P-O-R, stands for passing over opportunities. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. So somebody who passes over opportunities repeatedly will remain poor.
Poor, yes.
Now, for you to be able to become rich, you must seize opportunities. So these two guys had an opportunity, they seized it, but they did not see it in the same manner. There's one person who saw it differently, and he was able to even take the opportunity to the next level. Now, The second thing I want us to see in this story is that bucket owners, they enjoy in the short run. Just like salary workers, they enjoy in the short run. Now, if you see somebody who starts a side hustle, it doesn't usually pay off immediately. It takes time. And during that time that the person is struggling, the person who is having a very comfortable salary, the person that is doing well, maybe earning a stable income, the person is enjoying. Now, the third thing I want us to see is that the world has more bucket carriers than pipeline diggers. So you go everywhere in the world, you find more people depending on one income. People that get up in the morning, they carry their laptop, they carry their certificates, they carry their books, they carry different things, and they go out and they come back in the evening. It's the same as carrying buckets. Now, the only thing is that what people do is that, okay, maybe they go for higher certifications, they get better qualifications, they change jobs to jobs that are paid bigger. It's the same like changing a bucket that was 5 liters to 10 liters, maybe to 50 liters to carry. What has changed is just the bucket. So we need to go beyond buckets to using pipelines. So the next thing I want us to see is that smart work is harder in the short term. Now, when you are working smart in the short term, at the beginning, it is looking hard because the results are not yet evident. People cannot yet appreciate the results. They are not yet a reality. And you are the only one who is seeing it in your mind. But because the other people are not seeing, that is why they will abuse you, they will insult you, they will mock you, they will make you feel as if you are not following a worldly goal. And the next thing is that the public opinion is unreliable. Now, when you look at this story, at the time that Pablo was digging the pipeline, every person was a friend of Bruno. They would sit down with him, they were making fun of Pablo, that guy. He doesn't have time to enjoy himself, he doesn't have time to drink, he's just there digging a pipeline. They don't even understand what is going to happen with it. So these same people are the same people that when they saw water, they started celebrating Pablo and say, this is a miracle worker. So if you want to depend on public opinion, I can assure you that it is not reliable. The next thing I want you to see in this story is that bucket carriers, they feel mocked when approached by somebody that has a pipeline mentality. They always first of all see him as if he's coming to mock me, he's coming to exploit me, he's coming to use me to make money. Somebody come and present an opportunity to you that, okay, I have this particular product, I'm going to share with you, and you sell it on commissions. Now, when you are selling it, the commissions are going to you, and you start feeling as if the person wants to use you. That's always the mentality of bucket carriers. Now, bucket carriers find it hard to understand because over the years, that's the mentality that has been drummed into us. It is very difficult for people who are purely salary workers to understand the need for side hustles because they grow up with that mentality that they just need to get one job and then concentrate on it, be having their salary, and life will be okay. Another thing that we need to understand is that you are either a bucket carrier or a pipeline digger. Now, it is very okay that at the moment you are carrying your bucket, you are also digging a pipeline. Now, it doesn't matter whether your pipeline here, I'm talking about your side hustle, your business, or anything that you are doing aside your job. It doesn't matter whether it's going to take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. The truth is that when you complete it, it's going to give you the type of lifestyle you desire. But if you remain that you're not going to do anything because it's going to take too long, those years will still pass by and you'll still be in the same place. So for you to be able to go towards financial freedom, you need, first of all, to have this mentality of a pipeline. So I'm going to talk briefly on the differences between the wealthy and the poor. I prefer using the word wealthy because I want to differentiate wealthy and rich. Because rich, when they say somebody is rich, is that maybe the person have much money, which is still relative at a particular time. Somebody can be rich today and poor tomorrow. Somebody that maybe the father was extremely rich, just gave him money today on his dying bed, he suddenly becomes rich. Now, when you are wealthy, it means that you already have a system that you have put in place that is going to guarantee continuous passive income that is coming into your mind, into your bank account or into your into your into your life. Now, when you are wealthy, it also means that you have wealth that can go beyond your generation. That is how I want to look at it. And the wealthiness, the wealthy that I'm talking about is the one that people who are financially free, they have. And so that is what I want to differentiate. And last time I talked about 3 categories of people. The people that has poor reality and poor mindset, the people that has a wealthy mentality and a poor reality, and the people that have a wealthy mentality and a wealthy reality or a rich reality. So when I'm talking about the differences between the wealthy and the poor, I want to also put the people that have a wealthy mentality and a poor reality with these wealthy people, because they already have the mindset. So somebody who is not yet having the money, who is not yet having all the cash, who is not yet having the cars, who is not yet having the means, but that is already having a certain mindset, there's a way that he's going to behave that is different from the poor. So that's some of the differences I'm going to be giving. The first one is that the wealthy people, they believe in themselves. They believe in themselves, while the poor people, that means the belief in self. Why the poor people, they believe in luck. They believe in chance. They believe that things should get better. Whereas the rich people or the wealthy people, they believe in themselves. And so because they believe in themselves, they take responsibility on what they need to do to become wealthy. They take responsibility on what they need to get to the next level. They take responsibility on what needs to be happening on their life. Now, this has a very big psychological effect on 2 different persons. If I believe in myself, if I say it's my responsibility to get rich, it's not the responsibility of the government, it's not the responsibility of my parents, it's not the responsibility of an uncle, this is what is going to happen. If I try something and I fail, what happens is that I will ask myself, is it that I was lacking a particular skill? Maybe it's that I did not do something well, and I will try to look for the solution. But if I don't believe in myself, if I believe in luck, if I believe that what is going to be, and I fail, I will say, because I failed, it means it was not meant for me, and I give up. But someone who is responsible and believe in themselves is not going to give up. Why? Because he already believed that that thing is meant for me. The next level is meant for me. So if I fail, it means maybe I did not prepare myself very well.
Yes.
It means that maybe I need to take a particular course to become better. It means I need to step up my game. Maybe it means that I need to work harder. Maybe I need to work smarter. That's what he or she is going to inform himself, and then get back to the board game to work out how he's going to get there and make sure that he gets that result. And it is the same with their finances. Now the next thing is continuous learning. Wealthy people believe in continuous learning. Poor people believe that as soon as I finish writing my exams, it is all. They don't want to spend time learning again. Now, somebody will tell me that Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and many of, even here in Cameroon, the Kais and lots of those other people never went to school. I would say it's not schooling that I'm talking about. It's not academics that I'm talking about. I'm talking about continuous learning. Now, we look into the life of these billionaires. You see, they read continuously. They are always learning. They are always studying something. Now, even if you don't see them, that they are reading a book, they are curious. They devise different ways to learn. But the important thing is that they have this mindset that there's more to be known, and they go in search for it. It could be maybe they are having research teams. It could be maybe they read directly, because as they are reading, what is happening is that they are increasing their financial IQ. When their financial IQ is being increased, what happens? Their financial confidence increases for them to be able to make better financial decisions. It also helps them to be able to see opportunities when others are not seeing opportunities. Whereas for the person who has a poor mindset, first of all, he believes he already knows everything. You want to show him something I already know. You want to invite the person for a seminar, the person will say, what would they even teach that I don't know? And so the person is blocked. The person is not learning. And honestly, that is one of the reasons why he or she is going to continue to remain poor. Now, the next difference is the wealthy people are action-oriented.
Ah ouais, les actions orientées.
Yes, they are action-oriented. Wealthy people, rich people, when they see an opportunity here that they feel that can make their lives better or can reduce stress in their life, they are ready to take action. Whereas the poor people will start coming up with excuses. I usually say the road to poverty is paved with excuses. They have an excuse of why they cannot go in for it, because they will say that I'm not qualified, I'm not good at sales, I'm not good at talking to people, I'm not good at talking to people in public. But somebody that has a rich mindset will say, okay, this opportunity demands that I should have the ability to speak in public, but I don't yet know how to speak in public. What is it that I'm supposed to do to be able to speak in public? So they will take the action that will enable them to meet up the gap that they are having. So if you see yourself constantly giving excuses when opportunities are presented to you, know that that's an indication that you have a poor mindset. Now, the next thing that differentiates the rich and the poor is planning.
Yeah, very important.
Planning versus hoping. Why wealthy people are planning of what they are going to do in 2021, the poor are hoping that 2021 should be better than 2020. And there's a popular adage in English that says, when you fail to plan, you are actually planning to fail. And so the rich people, they take this seriously, be it their business, be it their personal life. They put in some time to plan so that they know exactly what to do. And it's true, when you don't plan ahead of time, you're actually planning to fail. Somebody says proper preparation before times actually prevents failure, and it's actually true. Now come to see this. When most people want to celebrate their birthday, they take time and they plan. And by the way, today is my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Today is my birthday. Most people, when they are planning for their birthday, they take time. They say, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is the people I'm going to invite. When they are planning for their wedding, they take time. They take a pen of paper. They write down everything. They know people who they are going to invite. And that's one day of their life. But when it comes to planning their financial life, they will never take a pen and paper to write down that this is the project I need to do, this is what I have to save, this is where I need to invest. And they hope that their lives will get better. It doesn't work that way. You need to be able to plan if you want good results. Now, I think it's...
I want to ask...
Yes, you can ask your question.
Is it easy to plan? Because there's people who doesn't know to planning.
Good. Just like I said, there are people who don't know how to plan. You know, awareness is the starting point of having a solution. You need to say, okay, this is what I desire, this is what I want to have. But to get there, this is what I lack. You identify that your problem is planning, and you now look for where you can learn about planning. So everything I'm saying here is something that you can learn. Everything that it's about financial freedom is something that you can study and understand and be able to do. So when an opportunity presents itself, this is what a poor person will say, I cannot afford it, I cannot do it, I cannot. Whereas a person with a wealthy mindset will say, how can I do it? Those two questions, one is a question, one is a statement. The statement is that I cannot do it. When you say I cannot do it, it sends a message to your brain, and your brain shuts down. It cannot think, it cannot devise a strategy. Now, when you say, how can I do it? How can I afford it? It sends a message to your brain to start calculating, to start strategizing, to start thinking about ways that you can do what is above you. Now, if you see that your problem is planning, what you need to do now is, where do I learn how to plan? go for a particular course? Do I take a class? Do I meet somebody who has succeeded to ask the person what the person did that was different so that I should be able to do it? That is what you need to be asking yourself. I hope that is clear. Now, the next thing is delay gratification. Delay gratification.
En français, la gratification.
Now I'm going to.
Gratification, en français, c'est.
That means you don't just want to enjoy now. The poor people want to enjoy immediately. The rich people will prefer to delay it.
Oui, reporter.
Yes, they will say, okay, instead of spending all the money I have now so that I can look rich, better I keep it up, I invest it somewhere so that I should have more money.
Absolutely.
But the poor person wants everything now. He wants the latest designer shoes, he wants the latest designer suit, he wants the latest phones, everything, he wants it now. But a rich person will say, okay, if I can save this amount of money and invest it somewhere, in 5 years time it will enable me to be able to buy a clothing company. I will own a clothing company instead of having the best clothes now, and tomorrow I continue to try to get them. So wealthy people, they delay their gratification because they don't want to spend everything that they have. And remember I talked about the different means that people actually use to look for money. That's how people spend. There are some people who spend above their means. There are some people that spend below their means. There are some people that spend according to their means. So somebody who wants to delay his enjoyment, he will spend below his means so that he has enough to save. And when you have enough to save, it means you will have enough to invest. Now, it takes me to the next thing that has to do with the differences between the rich and the poor. The rich, the reason why they are saving is because they want to invest on another business, or they want to invest on their current opportunities that they have. But the poor people, the only reason why they invest is for them to be able to buy something big, something that will show other people that I am rich, even when they are not rich. So why the rich, they actually save, so that what they save they can use to invest in their business or look out for other opportunities. The rich people, the poor people are investing so that they can buy the next big TV, they can buy a smartphone, they can buy something to impress other people. You need to understand that poor people, they buy things to show people that they are rich. But rich people, they don't try to impress anyone with their riches. Their confidence comes from the value they are adding in the society. Their confidence comes from what they are able to add. So it's not about how they look. You look at most of the wealthy people, you will not see any of them dressing extravagantly or doing things to impress other people. What they believe they need to do to be able to impress people is the value that they add. Unfortunately, especially our young people, they are being carried away by people in the showbiz because they want to appear shining, they want to show off money, they want to show off a lot of things. But they don't understand that some of those things are just things for promotion. They are not things, that is not the real life. You want to study the life of billionaires and millionaires, multimillionaires, you will discover that they don't dress to impress, they don't dress to kill anyone. They are living, they may go for quality things, of course. They may go for quality things because quality things last longer, but they are not doing anything to impress anyone. Now, the next difference is the rich, they look out for challenges. They like when they challenge themselves, you know, because when they challenge themselves, they get out of their comfort zone. Whereas the poor people, they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. They want to come back, you know, watch TV, watch their football match, watch series. They want their life not to be shaken. They want to spend their Sundays relaxing. They want all the time for their sleep. They don't want anything that is going to come in and give them any element of discomfort. Whereas it is that discomfort that is supposed to challenge them to be able to do new things. And so anyone that is just contented with where they are and just not doing anything different to be able to get to the next level will always remain poor. Another thing has to do with time. And I believe that if there's anything that God gave to us in equal measures, is time. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. And for those who are working, averagely you will work 8 hours to maybe 10 hours. And most people, they rest for 8 hours. The other 8 hours is what you do within that 8 hours is what is going to take you to the next level. So that is the time that some people use to gossip. That's the time that some people use to, to watch one series to the other. That is the time that people use to do all types of things. But somebody who has a wealthy mindset doesn't want to waste any time. As a matter of fact, if you lost 1 million today, you can regain it. But if you lost 1 month, you cannot regain it. As a matter of fact, if you lost 1 hour or 1 day, you cannot regain it. And so the wealthy people are conscious of this, and they ask themselves, what am I doing with this 1 hour? What am I doing with this 30 minutes? Am I investing into it so that I can reap something out of it tomorrow? Because another thing with time is that the rich people have understood that a day only has 24 hours for whether you are poor or rich. And so they are doing everything to be able to leverage that time. I talk about leveraging the other time. So if you are not able to leverage your time, what is going to happen is that you misuse your time, or you will be able to only have active income from your time. And the next thing is that while the rich people or the wealthy people are solution oriented or minded, the poor people are problem oriented. So if you put them somewhere where there's a problem, the wealthy people are going to be asking themselves, what can I do? What solution can I provide for this problem? Whereas the poor person will start complaining, this place, things are hard, things are not going. They will start complaining about the government. They will start complaining about the person who's advised them to come there. They will complain about everybody apart from themselves. Whereas the rich person is looking at the problem and is asking himself, what solution can I provide here? What value can I add here? If I should bring out a solution here, can I monetize it? And so that mindset, they have trained their mind over time to be able to identify solutions where other people are seeing problems. Now the next thing is the type of thoughts that come to wealthy people and the type of thoughts that come to poor people. Generally, wealthy people are positive thinkers, whereas negative people or maybe poor people are negative thinkers. So when there's when something is happening, for example, Corona came and a lot of things, the economy went behind, the wealthy person is still looking at it and it's like, but there's something I can still do to make money. Whereas the person who is having a poor mindset is so negative, he doesn't believe anything can come out good from any situation. And so because he doesn't believe anything can come out good, he will not do what is necessary to change the result. Whereas the person with a wealthy mindset believes that something good can still come out from this situation, and he is going to apply himself to get a solution and in the process have good results. It's true from time to time they may have negative results, but one thing about a positive attitude is that it will not change everything for you, but it changes you for everything that is going to happen to you. The next difference between the wealthy and the poor is the fact that the wealthy people, they cultivate meaningful relationship. What do I mean by that? Somebody with a wealthy mindset is always looking for people that he can network with. Somebody has said your net worth is equal to your network, and I agree with him. Whereas the poor person is always looking for somebody that he can become a parasite to. He's always looking at somebody he can gain a favor from. Some time ago I was I was in Bonaberi and I saw an old classmate. The guy was just drinking anyhow, and when he saw me, he was like, "Hey, I've seen you. Hey, give me a drink. I'm going to drink today to stupor. You have succeeded." That's what is going on in his mind. He will not ask you, what did you do to get the result that you're having? No, he's just expecting to receive. Whereas everybody can give. No matter how wealthy somebody is, there's something that you can give to the person. And so somebody with a wealthy mindset, when he's seeing another person that is succeeding, he wants to network with that person so that the person can inspire him, so that he can learn from that person, so that he can also be a plus to that person. So from today henceforth, if you have always been looking to people that you can take from, you should instead be looking up to people. How can I get to where they are? Somebody will help you, will give you money, and you all you do is to say thank you instead of saying, uncle, brother, what did you do? How do you study? How do you work? What business are you involved in that I can also take part in? Now, except somebody got money through a bad way or maybe through a fraudulent way, somebody who is genuinely striving to get income will be ready to teach any person who is willing to also learn. Now, another thing is rich people put their money to work for them, whereas poor people continue to work for money. Now, there's a huge difference between the two. Since rich people understand that time is limited and they need to be able to leverage, what they do is that they make sure that their money that they are making is constantly also working for them, even while they work for more money. So when they are saving money, is to make this money to work for more. The rich people see money as a means to an end, whereas the poor people see money as a goal, so that when they have it, they are only thinking on what they are going to spend the money on. Now, when a poor person sees a nice dress, a nice shoes, or something, the thing that is coming in his mind is, if somebody can just give me some money now, if I can just have some spare money, I'm going to buy this. If you are continually having that type of mindset, it shows that you will always be poor. Whereas a rich person is thinking that if I just have this money, I'm going to invest in this opportunity. So he's always thinking about investment. So he sees money as a tool that can enable him to work to get more money. That is why you see the rich, they actually focus on opportunities, whereas the poor people, they will only focus on the risks. They are like, if I do this, I will lose this money. If I do this, I will lose this money. It's not as if the rich people don't also see risks. They see the risks, they calculate it, but they focus on more on what they can gain. But when it comes to investing, the poor people are always looking for what is going to give them quick money. They want the type of opportunities that they will put 10,000 and by evening they have 20,000. But rich people understand that for money to come, it takes time, it takes work, it takes sacrifice. And that is the reason why most poor people will always fall prey to Ponzi schemes, to scam, and to things that will carry their money away. It's the poor mindset that is making them to go into that, because they want something that is going to give them quick money. Now, another element is work with rich people. When they are working, the idea is for them to become rich. It's not for them to look rich. Poor people, what they are striving for is that when people see me, they should know that I'm rich. And so that is the reason why they make sure that they always want to buy the latest things. All their money is going to get the latest things, so that people can see them as if they are rich. Whereas somebody with a wealthy mindset, he doesn't care about looking rich. What he cares about is actually being rich. Those are two different things. And the last difference that I'm going to give, there are actually many differences. I cannot give all of them today. The last difference I'm going to give is the rich people are committed to being rich. Whereas somebody with a poor mindset is just interested in being rich. He's just hoping that they may become rich. They are just hoping that maybe some uncle that he did not know somewhere can just get up and write in his will that I'm leaving you $1 million US today, so that because you are my nephew. The rich people are committed to being rich. By commitment, I mean that they identify what it takes to become wealthy. They identify the skills that they need to get, and they actually go for it. And no matter the time that passes by that they are not getting their result, they are persistent, they are patient, they are consistent, and they keep on working to make sure that they are going to get it. I'm going to pause here to know if there are any questions that I need to answer. If you have any question or something.
Oui, donc, moi je voudrais poser une question, mais en français.
Oui, vous pouvez poser.
Vous êtes déjà à la fin de tous ces cours que vous nous avez donnés sur sur l'indépendance financière. Oui. Comment, en quelques mots, qu'est-ce qu'on peut retenir pour les téléspectateurs en français qui nous regardent et qui veulent avoir quelques bribes? Comment devenir indépendante financière?
Ok, la première chose que je veux dire, c'est le mindset. C'est notre mentalité. Voilà. On ne peut pas changer notre réalité tant que notre mentalité n'a pas changé. Et le problème, c'est que plusieurs personnes sont grandies avec ce mindset que pour être un riche, les riches sont les méchants, ce sont les gens qui ne sont pas bons. Et avec tout ça, nous avons accepté la pauvreté comme si c'est ce qui est normal. Et quand on parle de mentalité ou bien de mindset, on prend beaucoup de choses en considération. La première des choses, pour quelqu'un qui veut avoir la liberté financière, c'est pour prendre la décision que je veux travailler vers la liberté finance. Parce que tant qu'on ne prend pas la décision, tout ce qu'on fait, on ne fait pas ça vers la liberté financière. On va seulement fonctionner sans on appelle blueprint, c'est-à-dire un plan, une feuille de route. Parce que à partir de décisions, on peut maintenant commencer à planifier une feuille de route qui va nous conduire. Et il faut aussi changer nos manières. Parce que plusieurs personnes, dès qu'ils rentrent de travail, la seule chose qui vient dans leur tête, c'est pour commencer par regarder la télé. Quand on regarde la télé tout le temps, les gens qu'on regarde dans la télé là, ce n'est pas ce qu'ils font.
Dans la vie.
Dans la vie. Ils cherchent chaque jour, ils sont là, ils sont en train de lire, ils sont là, ils sont en train d'étudier, ils sont là, ils sont en train de faire les recherches, comment je peux devenir une meilleure personne. Et quand on prend déjà les décisions, on commence déjà à chercher les gens qu'on peut être avec. Parce que tant qu'on reste avec les mêmes personnes qui pensent comme nous, on va rester les mêmes. Chaque jour, ils vont se plaindre. Vous aussi, vous allez commencer à se plaindre. Il faut chercher les gens qui sont responsables. Bon, qui ne sont pas là seulement pour plaindre contre le gouvernement, qui ne sont pas là seulement pour plaindre contre leur père, leurs parents. Quand les autres faisaient telle chose, quand ils commençaient ce business, mon père était où? S'il avait fait telle chose, moi aussi, je devais être quelqu'un aujourd'hui. Bon, ils ne veulent pas prendre la responsabilité. Tout ce qu'ils font, c'est qu'ils mettent la blâme sur les parents, sur les autres, sur les parents, sur leurs oncles, sur le gouvernement, sur le quartier. En bref, tout le monde est tort, sauf eux. Et une autre chose, c'est quand on change déjà la mentalité, on commence maintenant à faire les choses autrement. Et pendant ce période qu'on fait les choses autrement, c'est-à-dire je ne dépense pas tout ce que je gagne, je commence déjà à épargner, c'est-à-dire je ne cherche pas à toujours acheter les choses de dernière mode. Les autres qui sont autour de vous, ils vont commencer à moquer de vous. Bon, il faut avoir cet esprit, ce moral d'être capable de te sauvegarder dans avoir un bon sens. Parce que quand les gens te critiquent, quand les gens moquent de toi, c'est simplement, c'est très simple d'arrêter tout ce que vous êtes en train de faire, de continuer à faire comme vous faisiez avant. Ce que je veux dire, c'est comme pour les gens qui travaillent déjà, les salariés, le meilleur des choses, c'est de commencer déjà à faire le budget, à épargner, à identifier ce que vous pouvez investir.
Absolument.
Pour ceux qui pensent qu'ils peuvent devenir entrepreneurs, ils peuvent commencer le business, il faut aussi penser à ça. Il ne faut pas te limiter au niveau d'être salarié, parce que si on limite seulement au niveau de salaire, on ne peut pas devenir riche. Mais on peut être un salarié qui fait autre chose qui va vous permettre pour devenir riche. Bon, c'est quelques éléments que je pense que je peux partager en français pour les gens qui regardent en ligne. Et je pense que peut-être avec le temps, je ne sais pas, je peux toujours revenir, parce que c'est toute une école.
Ouais.
On peut passer toutes 6 mois, chaque semaine on parle de ça et ne va jamais finir. Et le chauffeur qui est responsable de votre voiture, de liberté financière, c'est vous-même, c'est toi-même. Il faut prendre la responsabilité, parce qu'à partir du moment qu'on prend la responsabilité, ça change tout dans la tête. Ça change la manière qu'on voit les choses. Ça change même où tu pars, où tu vois ce que tu vas étudier, ce que tu vas regarder à la télé, les gens que tu vas appeler, les gens que tu vas marcher avec. Et tout ça, ça va vous aider. Et comme ça, c'est vraiment une discussion qui va toujours continuer. Ce que je vais faire, je vais laisser mon numéro aux gens qui veulent peut-être me voir, ou bien de me poser les questions même après pour qu'on discute ça. Et si c'est mon numéro 679 11 23 39. On peut aussi m'avoir sur WhatsApp avec ce numéro. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving out my number for people who have listened to me and maybe they want to ask me more questions after, what they can start with, what they can be doing, and maybe they are having their difficulties, maybe with their businesses or anything that has to do with financial freedom. You can reach me on 679 112339. The number is also available on WhatsApp.
Thank you. Thank you, Godlove.
Thank you too.
Merci beaucoup. On a passé un bon moment et ça nous donne envie d'aller travailler, de chercher l'argent et de devenir indépendant, surtout des indépendantes financières. On va se retrouver demain, jeudi. Nous serons le 24 décembre, la veille de Noël. On va essayer d'apporter une autre connotation pour apporter vraiment l'esprit de Noël demain à cette émission. Nous vous souhaitons un bon midi.
Un bon midi à tous. Merci Godlove. Et on se retrouve sur WhatsApp.
Bien sûr, on se retrouve sur WhatsApp.
Allez, à demain.
Prenez soin de vous. Ciao.
Go, go, go.